Hi, this is Wendy Hearn, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I see websites to be very similar to employees and how often a website is allowed to get away with a lot more than an employee would be allowed to get away with. After all, employees have a specific role to play, a specific job to do, and we expect them to do that well and at times to make improvements. Ultimately, we'd also expect an employee to contribute to bottom line sales and profits. Now let me share with you why I see these similarities and what you can do to improve your website. So let's take your employee. You would expect your employee to look professional and to represent your brand. Does your website look professional and represent your brand? When a customer or client is talking with your employee, you would want them to give information across that's valuable, easy to understand. You wouldn't want to leave your customers or clients confused. So you want your employee to give that information in a way that's easy to understand. How easy is it to read and understand your website? Also, when an employee is talking with your customers, you wouldn't want them to just present the information and turn their back straight on them and not say any more. And yet this is what often happens on a website. They present the information and then there is no, what we would refer to as a call to action. In other words, you don't ask the visitor to do anything next. This I see to be similar to an employee that just gives the information and walks away. Let's say your employee does look good. They really have dressed the part, but they don't know very much about what they sell. When questions are asked by the customers and clients, the employee often gives a less than adequate answer. They don't understand what is great about your products or services. They don't understand how you offer value. They don't understand how you are better than your competitors. If your employee doesn't understand these things, I'm sure you wouldn't put up with it. Yet does your website not only look good, but does it have lots of information about the products or services you offer? Does it give the information about who you are as a company, where you stand out from your competitors, the value that you offer? When the employee is talking to customers, are they just talking about themselves? Or do they actually find out from the customer what they're looking for, what they need help with? Are they actually engaging them? Often a website just gives the basic information. It doesn't help the visitor to understand. It doesn't help the visitor to engage with the business in any way. Now let's assume somebody came to visit your business and your employee sat slumped on a chair, didn't seem to be showing very much interest. After a short while, but a little while, decides to sort of stand up and slowly sort of amble over to the customer. Would you put up with that from your employee, being slow to respond? And yet, how fast is your website to respond? When a visitor goes, they expect a page to load very quickly. Now somebody's talking to your employee in the store and it's quite obvious that they want to buy something, but all of a sudden your employee starts putting obstacles in the way. Oh, well, the till isn't open, or we're just waiting till later before you can buy, or we need to jump through these three hoops first, then I'll let you buy. Would you really let an employee do that? No. But on your website, are you making it as easy as possible for that visitor to buy? Often not. Now, most employees, whether it's every sort of 6 months or annually, will have an employee appraisal. They'll take a look at what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, areas of improvement. Yet do you do this for your website? It's there working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It probably needs an appraisal more often than even a 6-month one you would give an employee. One of the other advantages of a website that you don't get with an employee is you can have what's called analytics put onto your website, or different other tracking info, where you can actually see what happens. You can see what happens when a visitor comes to your website and what they do. You don't get this opportunity with a website. If you want your website to perform in the same way as a great employee, take a little time to stop and consider what it's doing well, how it can do more of that, and what it's not doing well and needs to improve. After all, a website could be the best employee you've ever had.